Class we have studied about point mutations, isn't it? What do you mean by point mutation? A mutation that occurs in a single gene or due to the change in the sequence of a nucleotide in the DNA. Okay, and this is also known as Mendelian disorder. Why it is known as Mendelian disorder? Because they follows the patterns of Mendel. Okay, point mutations follows the pattern of Mendelian inheritance. Okay, and it's a kind of sex-linked recessive disorder. Sex-linked disease means what? If the gene or that particular gene, if it is present in the sex chromosome X or Y, then it is known as sex-linked. Okay, and recessive means if the disease appear in the recessive conditions. Okay, so this is what sex-linked recessive disease. Okay, and hemophilia. In hemophilia, what happens is during hemophilia, the patient won't be able to clot the blood. Okay, so a small cut can also lead to the severe bleeding. So they are also known as bleeder's disease, and this disease was very common in the Victorian means in the Victoria family of Britain. Okay, in the royal family. So it is also known as what? Royal disease. Okay, so different names are there, like royal disease, then what? Bleeder's disease. Okay, likewise, and it's a kind of sex-linked recessive trait. Okay, sex-linked recessive trait means what? If that allele or the gene which is responsible for this particular disease is present in the X chromosome. Okay, and this pattern or the hemophilic pattern follows a zigzag. Okay, zigzag kind of inheritance or crisscross inheritance. So crisscross inheritance is that a father transmits the disease to his grandson through the daughters, but the daughters won't be affected. So in this generation it won't be that the daughters won't get affected, and it will be just daughters will be acting as the carriers. Okay, and the disease will be spread to the grandson. So from the following chart you can see, if this is a hemophilic father, you can see X and Y. Okay, and if he marries a normal woman, XX, you can see these are the progenies which can be formed, XHX. Okay, this will be a female, but she won't have the disease. Why? It's a recessive kind of disease, and the disease will not be appearing in this particular person because of this X. Okay, but this act as a carrier. Okay, this female is having one allele for hemophilia, but it will not be showing in that particular person. Okay, then XY, then XHY, this is also a carrier, and this one is a normal male. Okay, so like this, the disease will be skipping this generation. Now you see, then the next generation, if this girl is getting married to a man, normal man, you can see that the progenies are XHX. This will be a female carrier. Okay, and this one you see XHY, this will be a hemophilic son. Okay, so the father or the grandfather transmitted this disease to the grandson through the daughter of this father. Okay, fathers transmit it to the grandson through what? Through the daughters. Okay, so this is also known as zigzag inheritance or crisscross inheritance. So here what happens is a gene which is present in X chromosome that is responsible for coding a protein which is needed for the process of blood clotting. We learned in last year blood clotting is a very long process. Okay, it takes it has many steps. So in one of the steps, okay, and many proteins or enzymes are helping in each of the steps. So in one of the step, one enzyme is needed to continue that process. That protein will not be produced. Okay, so due to a single point mutation, so this is resulting in what? That protein, as it is not produced, the further clotting process will not take place in them. Okay, so take place in them. So this results in hemophilia. Okay, so this is what happening in hemophilia. Next type of disease that we are going to discuss is sickle cell anemia. Okay, it's a kind of autosomal recessive disease. Autosomal recessive disease means what? The gene responsible for this is located in the sex chromosome. Okay, and you can see that there are three types of genotypes: HBS, HBS, HBA, HBS, and HBA, HBA. Okay, so this is the normal gene without any mutation, and this is a carrier, heterozygous one. Okay, means this will not develop the disease, but they are having one allele for sickle cell anemia. Okay, that because of the dominant allele A, it will not show the disease, and this is what the sickle cell anemic one. Okay, HBS, HBS. Okay, so here what happens is, due to this mutation, the RBCs shapes, you know, isn't it? Concave spherical type what shape is there, so it will be changed by this mutation to sickle shaped. Okay, sickle shaped or elongated shape. Can you see? So this normal shapes will change into this sickle shaped RBCs. This is done with a single nucleotide change. Okay, you can see that GAG. Okay, GAG will be coding for what? Glutamic acid in the polypeptide chain, and here you can see that, okay, GUG instead of GAG, it become what? GUG, and this GUG codes for another, that is, instead of glutamic acid, as valine comes, the polypeptide chain cannot fold and form the normal shape of the RBC, and it will become sickle shaped. Okay, so the sickle shaped RBCs cannot do the functions of normal RBC. Okay, so that is the trouble in sickle cell anemia. Okay, so next we are going to study autosomal recessive disease that is known as phenylketonuria. Okay, so it's also a autosomal recessive disease. Autosomal recessive means what? The gene responsible for this is located in the autosome, and it is appearing, the disease will appear only in the recessive condition, means both the alleles, if they are recessive, then only. Okay, so in this what happens is, there is one enzyme which is needed to convert phenylalanine. Okay, phenylalanine is what? One kind of amino acid. Okay, which is produced due to the digestion of protein. Okay, so phenylalanine, which is to be converted into tyrosine. This tyrosine is the precursor of many other molecules. Okay, so in normal persons this is happening. Phenylalanine will be converted to tyrosine with the help of an enzyme. Okay, this enzyme will help in the conversion of phenylalanine to tyrosine, and if this enzyme is not there, what will happen? Phenylalanine will get accumulated and it will get converted to phenylpyruvic acid. Okay, and this is what causing mental retardation. Okay, this causes mental retardation, and this is the phenotypic expression of this. Okay, and this phenylpyruvic acid, that will also get excreted through urine. Okay, because this cannot be absorbed by the kidney. So is it clear? So in phenylketonuria what happens? The enzyme, okay, due to a mutation that in a particular gene, that gene is not able to produce an enzyme which is needed for the conversion of phenylalanine to tyrosine. And if phenylalanine is not converted to tyrosine, what will happen? It will get converted to phenylpyruvic acid, and this will get accumulated in the body, and what happens? It will lead to mental retardation, and also this phenylpyruvic acid will get excreted through the urine. Okay, so these are some of the point mutations. Point mutations, I told, what is it? That is caused due to a single gene mutation, okay, or change in the nucleotide sequence. Okay.